expression is our need to communicate. And when we communicate, we release. And so this expression works if there is a listener. So if I were to ask you, how do you express yourself? 100% of us, we talk. Why do we talk? Because we need symbols, remember? So we all use symbols. That's kind of how we identify with our entire world. So if there's somebody to talk to, we'll talk about our pain and our troubles, and we'll do the therapy, and that allows us to release and learn and, again, do all this cognitive learning and functioning. And that's awesome. Therapy has changed my life. I praise the VA for allowing me to understand how addiction works, how all these different things work, because all of us have addictive personalities. That's why we're so attached to either the TV or social media. We can't let it go because that's a form of addiction, but we're not going to get into that now. So because we talk, because we use symbols, and we express, and we communicate, and there's a listener, we're good here. No problem. But in order for us to actually feel really good about ourselves and be joyful and have that inner sense of peace and have this meaning in our life, meaning comes from feelings. Because everything that means anything to you has a feeling attached to it. Think about it. Think about one thing that means something to you that doesn't have a feeling attached to it. Right? All things that mean things to us have a feeling attached to it. So, why is self-expression so important? Because self-expression, once again, like communication, we release. In expression, we release through thoughts. But in self-expression, we have to release, or we have to express our thoughts, feelings, and ideas when we are by ourselves. Self-expression. So, can you talk to release thoughts, feelings, and ideas when you are by yourself, from yourself? I don't know. Maybe if I draw a diagram, we can see. So this is us, so this is me, right? That's what I look like. This is me on my good days or bad days. And I use speech or talk to express. So these are my ears, and I'm by myself. So blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Am I releasing? Like, can I release using speech when I'm by myself? If I'm listening to myself, I can't. It's staying with me. So the fact that speech, when we are by ourselves, doesn't let us express, what that means is that because we cannot express, we depress. And so now we can see that depression is a lack of self-expression. Because the difference between expression and self-expression is that self-expression needs to be done through feelings. Expression, when we communicate with symbols, is done through therapy or talking about it. And the point is that if we are with ourselves 100% of the time, that means you're with your feelings 100% of the time. And maybe 40% of that, there's someone to talk to. So thoughts have their expression, and they're good. But what's the difference here? 60%. 40% of the time to talk to somebody, that's 12 hours a day. Most of us are probably only talking to somebody maybe 3-4 hours a day, so it's probably a lot less. It's maybe 20%. So what I'm saying is that 60 to 80% of who we are is not being expressed because it comes out through feelings. And if we talk, we cannot release. So if we're not able to express, that's why we feel the way we do. That's why depression is on the rise. Because if we're not able to express our feelings in the way that they need to come out, which is through creation, when there's nobody around, we're going to feel the way we do. And now you can begin to see why is the way that you feel the way you do. And so to recap, video number 3 on the hidden dilemma, we're able to see the difference between expression and self-expression. We're able to see how one is done with thinking and the other one's done through feelings. And so this tells us why it's so important for our children to express their feelings into creation, why they need to cultivate creative emotional intelligence, because when we feel, there's not always someone to talk to. And that gives us the understanding. So into video number 4, when we begin talking about our importance to cultivate the satisfaction in creative emotional intelligence, why these feelings, most of them, they work against us. And that's the reason why it is important for us to cultivate creative emotional intelligence to have the satisfaction of creation. Thank you so much for watching.